Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your horoscope for the upcoming month, December 2023. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And thank you for joining me today. So, here today, I'm going to discuss the main events happening in December, and I'll tell you how they will influence your zodiac sign, more specifically, your ascendant sign or your rising sign, if you will, on a deeper level. So, here I follow Western astrology and tropical zodiac. So, welcome. You can also watch this horoscope for your moon sign or your sun sign if you wish, but always prioritize your rising sign in all the horoscopes on this channel. So here we go. We have a busy month, the final month of 2023. So a really, really good time for thinking of what is it that you want to achieve in the upcoming year, especially since you've got the nodes in the 6th and the 12th house still in 2024. And this really emphasizes these changes when it comes to your lifestyle, your habits, your routine, and perhaps your work and employment dynamics as well, especially since it's not just that the South Node is in the 6th, but also Pluto is approaching Aquarius in your 10th house. So here, things are definitely changing here, and it requires some effort. It requires some adjustment, especially since you are a fixed sign. Fixed signs are often resistant to change. However, once they do welcome the change, then they will get through to the end. They will follow through. But it's that the initial energy that could be slightly uncomfortable at times. And yeah, so lots of, I think you'll be readjusting a lot in the upcoming months here. But this month we've got Neptune and Jupiter stationing direct. So there's this forward momentum yet again. Neptune is regaining its strength. What it means is that that confusion and delusion perhaps could be in the air, especially in the month of December, because as we move forward, Neptune's energy are usually only activated when Neptune is in a square opposition to other transiting planet, but otherwise if it's undisturbed, then these energies are not that experienced to that deep level. So here on the 6th we've got Neptune stationing direct, and that's at 24 degrees of Pisces. Those with essential placements here, well, if you have any placements basically in 24 degrees of Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, or Sagittarius, then you will be especially influenced, especially those squares and oppositions that could bring a certain degree of misunderstandings, confusion. So perhaps here, if something is unclear, then it probably is, and it needs to be well researched. So don't be afraid to find out more information about things that are not fully clear, not fully that you don't fully understand. If something is too good to be true, then it probably is. So this sort of themes will come up here. So be cautious overall. But now overall here, it's also here those dreams and that I think it's interesting because it's happening in your 11th house, which is connected to hopes and dreams. So it's a good month for creating that vision map, for deciding what is it that you want to manifest in the upcoming future. Now on the 5th, 6th, also Venus will move into Scorpio, into your 7th house. So overall, it's a good time here, even though Venus in Scorpio is in its detriment. So not the strongest position for Venus, but here in the 7th house, it's got this strength that comes by that angularity of the 7th house. And what it means is that here, the dynamics in these one-to-one connections in your relationships improve. They get a lovely boost of energy. So positive vibes here in these one-to-ones. Love is in the air usually when Venus is in the 7th house, but because of that Scorpio energy, there could be a tendency towards perhaps some jealous behavioral patterns or obsessive behavioral patterns, or a little mistrust could be in the air as well. So watch out for this sort of tendency, because they may come up throughout the month of December. But other than that, here, this is also a really, Venus on its own in the 7th house really improves that connection with other people, especially on one-to-one basis. You could be making some really lovely plans with your significant other, or perhaps you'll be dating, you'll be attracting someone into your life as well. This could be the case for those who are single. also dating is here highlighted throughout the month of December. Right, so here we've got a new moon in Sagittarius at 20 degrees on the 12th. Here, Sagittarius, this is your 8th house. A new moon is about new beginnings, so something new is brewing here in the air, in the area of the intimate matters, shared and joint resources, perhaps. Perhaps there is a need to perhaps implement some changes in how the money is shared in your household. Perhaps you're thinking about setting up a new business, a new collaboration. It could be about a new connection as well. Whatever happens in the 8th house has got this really lots of depth to it. Depth. And here with the 8th house, new moon, there's also energy connected to transformation, which I discussed in Mars in Sagittarius video. Mars is here pushing you forward. If you want to perhaps transform something in your life, this new moon is great for doing so, for implementing these little adjustments that could make your life easier, that could simplify your routine, for example. Now, you could be also here, this could be also about anything to do matters concerning mortgage. Perhaps you are renewing your insurance, house insurance, health insurance. Now, renewing here could be the case because this new moon will be pretty much active in the second part of December. And the day after this new moon is exact, we've got Mercury stationing retrograde at 8 degrees of Capricorn, and this retrograde will shift into Sagittarius as well. And on the 1st, 2nd of January, this retrograde will be over. So for some Taurus rising, this could be about renewing your insurance, your car insurance, house, health insurance. You could be dealing with this sort of things as well. Now, coming into this retrograde, the pre-shadow period starts on the 25th of November and it ends on the 21st of January. So remember that pre and post-shadow period. So the post-shadow period ends on the 21st of January. So the pre and the post-shadow period are really significant because during these pre-shadow and post-shadow periods, we can also experience these Mercury retrograde themes. The retrograde of Mercury is between the 13th of December until 1st, 2nd of January. It starts at 8 degrees of Capricorn. So that's your 9th house into the 8th. So during this time, you will be reviewing your life direction. If you feel like you're not on track or on the right track, then this Mercury retrograde will make it more visible, could bring more clarity in this regard. And perhaps you will be making or planning to implement some adjustments in January when this Mercury retrograde is over. And perhaps you'll be redefining your life philosophy. Perhaps you'll be thinking deeply about planning a trip to a place that you have been to in the past. You could be returning into books or movies that you've seen in the past, books that are connected to anything that opens your vision, opens your horizons, your wisdom. So something that is not overly mundane, but rather worldly and perhaps something that will generally help you to expand in some way. So yes, so that's Mercury retrograde. So yes, returning to anything to do with learning and expansive experiences, opportunities, books, films. But at the same time, this could be also about having to deal with some legal documents, cases, passport, visa applications as well. So now when Mercury is retrograde in your 8th house, this was when you will be reviewing your finances, shared and joint resources, mortgage, any debts, loans you may have. Or perhaps if you are not satisfied with your insurance company, with your financial advisors, with your bank accountant, then this retrograde could also make you perhaps think about moving into a different provider. So implementing some changes into this area of life. And perhaps in January, you will be making these adjustments. Right, so on the 26th, there's a full moon in Cancer at 4 degrees. Cancer, that's your 3rd house. And with a full moon, so yes, think about what happened in your life around 18 months ago. That was around June, July 2022, when we had a new moon in Cancer connected to this major cycle. that lasts 2 years and 7 months. So during this time, this perhaps a situation, a story that was present during that time could become alive again here. Now, when the energies of a lunation activates the third house, we often have this need to perhaps socialize, get ourselves out there, connect with people from our community, join some clubs. It could be when you feel like, I don't socialize enough. I don't perhaps I don't perhaps get myself out there. I don't even get myself involved enough in activities in my community, so that you could be craving social interactions at this time, because Saturn is now in your 11th house. This could shrink your social cycle. This could circle. This could make you feel lonely and feel like you don't get out enough. You don't perhaps your friendships are pretty limited, and this full moon could bring this also into light, could make it more visible. And so perhaps this is when you'll be thinking about implementing changes next year, because remember, we've got the eclipses here, 6th, 12th house. So these lifestyle changes are definitely highlighted next year for you. But overall, this could be about receiving some important news. Communication is highlighted. You could be reconnecting with people you haven't spoken to for quite some time as well. Remember, Mercury is retrograde. Also, watch your spendings here during the retrograde phase, because Mercury rules over your 2nd house. So here, keep your receipts. If you're not sure if you really need it, perhaps you don't need it, and if you buy it, and make sure you can return it in case you change your mind. Right, so perhaps this full moon could also indicate a trip, a travel. And this is also about completing a course of study, completing a website, perhaps completing a project, a written project. Now, on the 30th, Jupiter will be stationing direct in your 1st house. So that's really, really good news, because here Jupiter is in your 1st house until the 2nd part of May. And here you've got these amazing opportunities for improving your lifestyle, for generally implementing these positive changes that could make you feel good about yourself. Now, here, watch your diet as well, from Jupiter's stationary motion, direct motion, until the 2nd part of May, because Jupiter also promotes the growth of the physical body. It's not only growth when it comes to opportunities and possibilities, but also here growth. It's often more difficult to lose weight when Jupiter is in the 1st, 2nd, or the 6th house, because of our dietary choices, because some hormonal imbalance. So here, just this is on a side note, but other than that, with Jupiter moving in a forward motion here, you will see that it will be easier to reach your goals, reach your objectives as well as we move into the new year. So positive energies here, positive vibes. Thank you very much, Taurus. I wish you a pleasant month, and until the next time, bye for now.